The Sunshine Tour's fourth stop of the season led players to the Benoni Country Club as they paid tribute to legendary golfer Gary Player and his wife Vivienne with a tournament named in their honor. The event marked the penultimate tournament before the tour takes a winter break, and it was a good opportunity for the players to accumulate much-needed order of merit points or even a win before enjoying some time off. Nestled in the heart of Ekurhuleni, east of Johannesburg, the club's roots trace back to 1907, and over the years, BCC has evolved into a distinguished sporting haven, celebrated for its historic origins and a prominent parkland course. The golf course's legacy is deeply entrenched, having hosted prestigious tournaments in the past, and it provided quite a stern test for some of the tour's finest players. Graham van der Merwe went around the track bogey-free in the opening round. Teeing off on the 10th, he started with a birdie and found two more to make the turn in 33. The 34-year-old then made two birdies on his back nine to sign for a 5-under 65.
It's a good course. It's a really good tournament course. You have to be good off the tee here. And I've never seen the greens running this well. So full compliments to Benoni Country Club and the team. Really good tournament test, and yeah, they can be proud of themselves.
Jason Roots wasn't able to keep the bogeys off his card, but found plenty birdies to put a smile on his face. With the mercury hovering around 12 degrees Celsius when the morning wave of golfers went off, he quickly warmed up with an eagle birdie start.
Yeah, you got to hit it pretty good. Off the tee, you got to hit it pretty good. Obviously very tree-lined. So if you get yourself out of position, you're going to be behind. And then, yeah, you got to hit some good second shots, kind of slopey greens and some tough flags out there. So, yeah, you got to be pretty precise out here.
He would give two of those shots back before making a birdie at the 9th to turn on -2. He was clinical on the back nine, finding 5 birdies to surge to the top of the leaderboard. Armed with a run-up finish at the Kit Kat Cash and Carry Pro-Am and a 4th place finish at the Waterfall City Tournament of Champions, Jonathan Broomhead went in search of what would be his 4th Sunshine Tour win in 3 seasons. And his good form continued as he matched the leading mark without dropping a single shot.
Made a nice birdie on 10, my first hole, and then just kind of kept it going. Strung a few along the way on that front nine of mine, but yeah, it was good. Hit the ball really nicely, made some nice putts coming for most of the round, but yeah, it was a good day.
After day 1, this is how the leaderboard looked. Samuel Simpson joined Roots and Broomhead at the top after he also carded an opening 65. Van der Merwe found himself in a 3-way tie for 4th place alongside Malcolm Mitchell and Ricky Handler. Samuel Simpson has had a good start to the new season. Opening with a top 10 finish at the first event in Zimbabwe, he struggled slightly at Irene. The former Junior President's Cup player recently turned 23, and he looks closer than ever to getting over the line.
You know, I worked hard. Home is Cape Town. I actually didn't go home over the short break. I stayed in Joburg. So I did quite a lot of prep and got myself as mentally ready as possible. I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is mental confidence equals good golf. So yeah, I think this is my 3rd year on the Sunshine Tour, 4th as a pro, and I think I've learned a lot, especially last year. I finished just outside top 50 on the auto merit, but it was, a bit on and off, but I learned how to make cuts, and I've learned how to at least put myself in the position to hopefully play well on the weekends, which is what I struggled with before. So I think coming into the first couple of events of the season, I've really tried to prepare to win. That may happen, it may not. I can't control that, but what I have done is prepared to succeed, and I think that's a difference that I have over the last couple of years.
It was a strong field that gathered in Benoni, and with the Gary and Vivienne Player Challenge being a 54-hole tournament, the pressure was on at both ends of the leaderboard on day 2. There wasn't a lot of breathing room between the leaders and the chasing pack, so they were hoping to keep up the momentum to stay at the top, and that's exactly what Sam Simpson did as he backed up his opening 65 with a delightful 66 to nudge ahead of the field. He began his second round with a par before dropping a shot at the second, but quickly bounced back to find 7 birdies, which gave him the outright lead. His closest challenger on the day was Malcolm Mitchell, who carved out 8 birdies and 2 bogeys for his round of 66. The KZN golfer struck the ball well to get himself into contention as he chased a 2nd Sunshine Tour victory.
Yeah, it was a nice solid round again. driving the ball well around here, I think is quite important, and I've done well the first 2 days, so you just want to carry that over. Yeah, putting, luckily I've got it, I stayed a lot with Jaco van Zyl, being a member here, and he gave me a couple of insiders a couple of years back, and I've just never forgotten them. So, but the greens are really good, receptive, and rolling extremely well.
The young Simpson would sleep on a 2-shot lead and the knowledge that he would feel a little bit more pressure come the final round. Especially with Martin Forster, Jonathan Broomhead and Jason Roots just a further 2 shots behind Mitchell. The leaders all looked calm and ready ahead of taking on the challenging Benoni Country Club layout one last time. It was all to play for, and a good start was premium. And when the leader blocked his opening shots to the right, that opened a gap for the chasing pack. He would make a bogey while Malcolm Mitchell opened with a birdie to tie for the lead. Another birdie at the 4th gave the Durbanites the outright lead, but bogeys at 7 and 8 saw him drop into a 3-way share at the top. He managed to make a birdie here at the par 5 9th. Ahead of them, Conor McKenzie was making a run. 2 front 9 birdies, and this eagle at the 9th put him in the mix. He threatened to run away with it when he birdied the 10th, but sandwiched his second back 9 bird with 2 bogeys to set the clubhouse lead at 11 under par, courtesy of his closing 68. Alton van der Merwe never quite got it going on the last day, but he finished off in style with this magical eagle at the 18th for a final round 2 under 70 to finish in 5th place. Graham van der Merwe was also putting on a fight. He was 4 under for the day when he made the turn, then made 3 more birdies and a drop at the last to sign for a 66 and finished in a tie for 3rd with McKenzie. Jonathan Broomhead started bogey and seemed to have played himself out of contention, but 4 birdies before the turn brought him back, and the 4th one at the 9th was super impressive. The 3-time winner made 2 birdies and a bogey to set a new clubhouse mark at 12 under. Walking onto the 18th tee box, Mitchell needed a birdie to win. But 3 putted to get himself into a playoff with Broomhead. This wonderful chip at the first playoff hole set up a second birdie opportunity for the win. And this time around, he converted with ease to claim a second Sunshine Tour victory.
Yeah, no, it was really good, not being in contention. This close to contention for a while, it was different, and been doing a lot of work trying to, teach myself patience and things like that, and it started to show a little bit today, which was nice. It was actually a little bit calmer for the playoff because it's either going to be first or second. Sometimes things happen on the final hole, so that the nerves were quite high. But the playoff, I was under control and really enjoyed it. Unbelievable. I think it will only kick in, in the next couple of days. But right now I'm over the moon. It's all the hard work and blood, sweat and tears. It's starting to pay off. Oh, it's always good. That exemption, that winner's exemption makes a big difference. Going to other tours and things like that, you can plan your life a little bit better, which is very nice.
This is the final leaderboard at the Gary and Vivienne Player Challenge. Malcolm Mitchell just pipping John Broomhead in a playoff. Luis Carrera finished in a tie for 23rd and still leads the order of merit standings delivered by the courier guy. Mitchell's win has seen him leap into second place with Broomhead in third. After a wonderful week in Benoni, it was Malcolm Mitchell who reigned supreme. The tour is off to Zambia before going on a winter break. From the entire SuperSport Highlights crew, that's all from us. We'll catch up again soon.